Ali, 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 yeah. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7.
Assistant Grand Secretary of State, Dr. Denver Neal Curtis Bay. This is Dr. Marvin Elvis Bay, out of the Texas Territory, checking in.
Islam. Welcome, Consul General of Texas. Glad to have you.
Gratitude. Glad to be here. Peace and love to you and all the Moors online. Islam.
Islam. Are there any Moors out there who have not yet registered? If you have already registered family, kindly star 6 your phone. As this and mute out any background noise, we will be starting shortly. Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. We want to welcome everyone to our Moorish Perspective class sponsored by our Moorish American government. And at this time, we want to call our National Assistant Grand Sheikh to open us up according to law. Islam, are you there, National Assistant Grand Sheikh?
Assistant Grand Secretary of State, Dr. Denver Neal Curtis Bay. This is Dr. Marvin Elvis Bay, out of the Texas Territory, checking in.
Islam. Welcome, Consul General of Texas. If you have already registered family, kindly star 6 your phone. As this and mute out any background noise, we will be starting shortly. Islam.
Gratitude. Glad to be here. Peace and love to you and all the Moors online. Islam.
unmuted.
Praise God, I can hear you well.
Islam, Islam, Islamism without the schism. Want to rise upon the seven within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right. And give all praises to the great God, Allah, Father God, Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again here, there, and everywhere. And therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. But let us come forth with our ancient Comedian Adept Moorish American prayer. And as we come forth, we ask that you open up your hearts and minds as we open up the way. Islam, Islam, Islamism. Ya Allah abnu heru makuneturu. Ya Allah abhet heru. Ya Allah ma'at heru. Ya Allah hotep heru. Ya Allah heru. Ya Allah ma'at herakuti. Ya Allah ahwajet duty. Ya Allah per-im to tek per-im heru. Ya Allah bamaduti. Al-hajat shepsis rab to Ali. I mean, Harias, Harias, Harias. And that is to say, Moorish kin in transliteration, O Allah, the Father of the universe, O Allah, the Father of love, O Allah, the Spirit of truth, O Allah, the Spirit of peace, O Allah, the Spirit of freedom, O Allah, the Spirit of justice, O Allah, you are my protector, O Allah, you are my guide, O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day. O Allah, through your holy prophet, O Allah, Drew Ali. Amen. Aliyassa, Aliyassa, Aliyassa. Islam, Moorish king. And now we come forth before you with the divine constitution of Moorish America. Salvation, our God, unity. The seven supreme constitutional acts of law. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of Moorish America empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the grand body of Moorish America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs. If he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the citizens of Moorish America. The bylaws, Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh. On a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you're part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. No organization of Moorish Americans to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality. And we're teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. They may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All citizens
must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish Americans must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America, and then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, peace and blessings be upon him, founding father and framer of the divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. And now that this meeting has been opened according to the Triune Acts, Acts 1, 2, and 3 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, we say Islam, Islam, Islamism. Providence of Allah is ever all his works. He ruleth and directed with infinite wisdom. He hath instituted laws for the government of the world. He hath wonderfully varied them in all beings, and each by his nature, conforming to his will. Shemotepu Moorish kin. Peace and love.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam. Family, I am Divine Minister Dr. Diane Carter Bay, my ancient committee and her name being Dr. Dinger Ani Kirk Bay. First, let me rise and give praises to our great God Allah. I give honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Act 1. And I give honors to our National Assistant Grand Sheik for opening us up according to law. And at this time, I will be reading our chapter of the week, chapter 14, coming from our Holy Quran. And it reads, YEHOSHUA spake on unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Benares is the sacred city of the Brahms, and in Benares, YEHOSHUA taught. Udraka was his host. Udraka made a feast in honor of his guests, and many high-born Hindu priests and scribes were there. And YEHOSHUA said to them, with much delight, I speak to you concerning life, the brotherhood of life. The universal Allah is one, yet he is more than one. All things are one. By the sweet breath of Allah, all life is bound in one. So if you touch a fiber of a living thing, you send it thrill from center to the outer bounds of life. And when you crush beneath your foot the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in its sheath. Muted sings out its song for men, and men vibrate in unison to help it sing. The ant constructs its home. The bee its sheltering comb. The spider weaves her web, and flowers breathe to them a spirit in their sweet perfume that gives them strength to toil. Now, men and birds and beasts and creeping things are deities, made flesh. And how dare you kill anything? It is cruelty that makes the world array. When men have learned that when they harm a living thing, they harm themselves. They surely will not kill, nor cause a thing that Allah has made to suffer pain. A lawyer said, I pray to YEHOSHUA, pure, who is this Allah you speak about? Where is his priest, his temples, and his shrines? And YEHOSHUA said, the Allah I speak about is everywhere. He cannot be compassed with walls, nor hedged about with bounds of any kind. All people worship Allah, the one, but all the people see him not alike. This universal Allah is wisdom, will, and love. All men see not the triune Allah. One sees him as Allah of might, another as Allah of power, another as Allah of love. A man's idea is his God, and so, as man unfolds, his God unfolds. Man's God today, tomorrow is not God. The nations of the earth see Allah from different points of view, and so he does not seem the same to everyone. Man names the part of Allah he sees, and this to him is all of Allah. And every nation sees a part of Allah, and every nation has a name for Allah. You Brahmins call him Paragram. In Egypt, he is Thor, and Zeus is his name in Greece. Jeho- Jeho- Jehovah, Jehovah is his Hebrew name, but everywhere he is the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things have grown. When man, when men are afraid of Allah and take him for a foe, they dress up other men in fancy garbs and call them priests. And they charge them to restrain the wrath of Allah by prayers. And when they fail to win his favor by their prayers, to buy him off with sacrifice of animals or birds. When man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. He goes straight up to him and says, "My Father God Allah." And then he lays his hand in Allah's own hand, and all is well. And this is Allah. You are each one a priest just for yourself, and sacrifice of blood Allah does not want. Just give your life in sacrificial service to the all of life, and Allah is pleased. When YEHOSHUA had thus said, he stood aside. The people were amazed, but strove among themselves. Some said, he is inspired by Holy Brahma. And others said, he is insane. And others said, he is obsessed. He speaks as devils speak. But YEHOSHUA tarried not. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker after truth, who loved the words that YEHOSHUA spake. And YEHOSHUA went with him, and in his home abode. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam family. Again, I am Divine Minister Dr. Dinger Ani Bay. Today is November the 30th, 2024. We give honors to Dr. Dinger Ani of Bay for reading our chapter of the week and taking registration. We give honors to our National Sister Grand Sheik for opening us up according to law. Again, we want to welcome everyone to our Moist Perspective class, sponsored by our Moist American government. Our host for tonight's class is our National Assistant Grand Sheik, Dr. Sadu Amiti El Mahesh Stepsuel. His title for the night is coming from our chapter 14, ayat 22. When man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. Also, Moors, don't forget to check your emails for the link. And at this time, we're going to turn everything over to our host, our National Assistant Grand Sheik, Dr. Sadu Amiti El Mahesh Stepsuel. Are you there, National Assistant Grand Sheik?
Unmuted.
Islam, I can hear you now. Islam.
We look forward to hearing from all of you. So praise be to Allah. We got a grand drawing to bring forth and a lot of ground to cover in a short period of time. But nevertheless, we shall get the job done. And right now, I'm just trying to make sure I have this trying to make sure I got this link to the family so that they can get on. The ones who want to come on, all are welcome. Okay, and we give honors to all of those who participate in demonstrating the uplifting acts of dealing with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All right, so let me see here. Just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get this link to my family, and we'll move forward from that point. Yeah, all right. Okay. One thing about this night here, this Moorish Perspectives, it's definitely on the manifest for us to get a grand drawing if we look for it. Okay, let me see here. And we'll be getting started in 1 second, family. Let us get this link over to the faithful. All right. There we go, right there. It's going to hit everybody. Everybody got it. Everybody welcome. But we know the prophet said he can count out a handful and he's still going to have some left. So praise be to Allah for the ones that will be on the manifest. Here we go. All right. It should be reaching in a second. Okay, yep, there it go. All right, family. I just sent the link out. So let me proceed with the drawing. And also, family, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe if you're just looking in or peeking in. And if you're already here, go ahead and put the link out there into the media. In fact, I'm going to do it real quick myself. Yeah. One day we're going to have it on the manifest when we get them 16 secretaries in here, where we're going to be able to demonstrate just like we see a lot of other channels demonstrate. They may not be Moorish American, but when it comes down to supporting each other, they definitely support each other. You know, so one day we're going to have some Moors that's on the front line and we can have them do certain things while we trying to get these things done. But when I got to do it all at one time, Moorish kin, it just take a little process, so bear with me. Okay, so I'm just trying to get this link and share it to my page. Okay, we're going to copy it. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and then we'll come forth after I post this. I ain't going to post it in a whole bunch of pages. I'm going to just post it on my front page and the main page that I know that we can reach out to a few people. And that way we can let our people know that we live. We already know that we shadow ban. I know good and well ain't nobody trying to call me while they know that I'm teaching at this time. They know better than that. I don't know who that was that tried to call me, but they know better than that. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to share it a few times. Moorish kin, give us a second. And after I do that, okay. we move forward with our measure. And this is actually somebody trying to send a message in about something ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. Okay. Okay, here we go here. All right, yeah, we got that one shared. So that's pretty good there. I want to see if I can get the group. Get it shared to the group. Once we do that, all is well. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we ain't got to send it to everybody. Just a few people. The ones we know support what it is that we demonstrate. I want to send this to our Moorish Consortium page. Okay. That's it right there. All right. Let's try this. I want to try to get it to Moorish Consortium National. Yeah, that page there. There we go. There we go, right there. And so that's about it. We ain't got to go no further than that. Everybody else will get it when they get it. So let me close these windows out so we don't have no glitching going on here. All right. Let me check in our Moorish kin. Okay, we got our Grand Secretary of the State. Praise be to Allah. All right. Islam to our Moorish kin. So yeah, our subject title gonna be a grand draw in Moorish kin, as we stated, and we are coming forth from chapter 14. And as you can see, this is one of the most important drawings that we can ever deal with right now. When man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. Well, the title is self-explanatory in relation to dealing with the ayat. And we understand that we can see the great God Allah is one with us. As you can see, if you notice my backdrop right here, we deal with the divine anatomy of Allah, in basically how he will bear witness against man through his own deeds, arm, leg, arm, head. So when man sees himself as one with Allah, he needs no middleman. He understands that Allah is ever present. He's in the presence of Allah, so he don't need a priest to intercede. He don't need nobody to plead his cause, because he is already one with the great God through deific will. It don't get no plainer than that. And this is a very important measure because it places our responsibility, within our own hands, so to speak, when it comes to our destiny, as creative fate will have it. We live in a world now to where we have been placed under a mindset to where we are looking for someone to bear our burden for us. And we were taught this under the doctrines of slavery and Christianity. Unfortunately, that's not to attack anyone's belief system. We just giving it to you how it was, because they told us as long as we pleaded in the blood of Jesus that we could do anything that we wanted to that was sinful, to the greatest degree, and still we can be saved. All we had to do is pretty much put the burden on Jesus, which in all actuality, it sounds strange to say that you love a man like they say they love Jesus, and yet do so many things that are outside of what he would be in honor of. and expect him to bear the burden of responsibility of all that they did. Now, can you imagine this? Because, you know, they say that the world and its sins, you know, were basically accepted, you know, because all of them can be placed on Jesus. You know, anything you do wrong, all you got to do is plead in the blood of Jesus, even though you plan on doing it tomorrow, even though you plan on doing it, you know, the next day or the next week, you know, or the next month. You don't have any intent to stop. You just want to place the burden on Jesus. Now, does that sound logical? If I know that I was demonstrating a harmful way of life, a harmful way of thinking, and I want somebody to bear the burdens because I want to keep doing what it is that I do. I want to get away with whatever it is I do. And I say, I love you, brother, but I want you to suffer for me. I want you to accept the responsibility for everything that I did or am doing that I know is out of line, but you're a sacrificial lamb. You know, so can you be a living sacrifice for me, you know, and accept chastisement, you know, for my behavior? I mean, do that even sound fair to even think like that if you really love somebody? You know, I love you, but I want to see you suffer. That's basically, you know, if you really want to look at it, that's what you basically saying. And that's how the Romans had taught us to be. And not only did we accept this mentality relate to Jesus, but we were willing to sacrifice each other and throw each other into the fire or the fiery furnace to save ourselves. So this became a behavior. So they actually taught us in a demented, twisted like way to demonstrate a mindset of selfishness, all in the name of righteousness. So therefore they taught us the first doctrine of being a deceiver, being deceptive. You see, being one who would betray our brothers and sisters for our own, what we think is well-being. You see? Or we're going to give it to you. We're going to make sure that you can't hide, you know, in no particular place. We're going to clean out all the crevices tonight. And even there are those who have carried this mindset all the way over into the teaching of Islamism. They want to lay the burden on Prophet Noble Drew Ali, our holy prophet, just like they did with YEHOSHUA. But we know that you can't do that here, because it is this very lesson when the prophet told us when man sees Allah as one with him, as a father, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. So why do we still have the same mentality? Why are we still dragging the chains from Christianity into Islam, looking for a middleman in our brothers and our sisters, a scapegoat, a sacrificial lamb? Why are we looking for a middleman, a scapegoat in our holy prophet? Why do we still have, you know, attachments to the same doctrine that Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us to give back to the European? He told us to take the church and Christianity and give it back to the European. So why do you see in this era and time those who are still trying to demonstrate, and they want to gift wrap it? They want to make it look real good, but yet still demonstrate that same doctrine. And then we wonder why it is that we come through the conditions that we come through. We wonder why it is that we continue to suffer as we continue to suffer. We wonder why it is that we can't find ourselves in a position where we can come out of a situation. It's because we're waiting on one person to be the scapegoat. We want to make our grand national chairman the scapegoat. Want to make our national grand sheep the scapegoat. You see? So our people are not looking at this from the aspect of being able to get on the front line. How about we get on the front line and demonstrate the work? Because the law is in us. Remember, we spoke recently in one of our classes and we was telling our people, you know, that the acts of Allah that we are seeking, his attributes, they come through us. You see, they don't come through any means of just some spookism, a pie falling out of the sky, whatever you want to call it, after you die. We see Allah by what our brothers and our sisters demonstrate in our presence, correct? So if we understand the universal Allah, and we understand Allah from this standpoint being a reality, and as a result of what we call the certainty of knowing who Allah is through his attributes, through the saving power that he has placed in each and every one of us, which allots us with a responsibility. Each and every one of us were born with a saving power. And so while we're looking for somebody to save us, we already have the power vested within us to be able to save ourselves. And also use that same power to be able to aid and assist in uplifting fallen humanity. There is no middleman between you and your saving power. And if you believe that, then you believe that the middleman's power extends beyond the great God. Well, in other words, we might have forgot who made us, right? So when man sees Allah as one with him, so you got to see Allah as one with you. If you can't see yourself being one with Allah, if all you can see is yourself being a Negro, if all you can see is yourself being a so-called black man, if all you can see is yourself being a so-called colored man, if all you can see is a so-called Ethiopian thought pattern or conditions that come from that, then we understand why it is that you can't see that you are one with the great God through deific will, deific tie. See, we like to sing that song because it sounds good when we hit that high note of divinity. You know, but in most cases, that's all our people in this era and time want to do. They want to sing the song. They want to hit that high note. But when it comes time to being able to demonstrate on that particular level, then our people are found want and have the ability, you know, in their mindset and audacity to criticize you because you will not bear their burden for them. They will become your very enemy because you will not bear their burden for them. Think about it. They want you to study for. They want you to read for. They want you to think for. Nothing wrong with sharing what we have. That's all right. But when we become dependent or codependent, so to speak, on somebody else's thought, then we have made those individuals gods outside of the self. Especially when we feel like we can't get ahead unless they say so. We've seen this time and time again. And this is why most of the time when a master teacher come on the manifest in their past form, their body collapse upon itself because, you know, they were so caught up in the personality that they didn't go into the reality of the self and did the work to make preparation for the time, you know, that the master teacher, you know, would make a journey, so to speak, or go into a state of migration from the plane of things made manifest. They weren't prepared for it. So now, you know, they implode upon themselves. Sometimes they become stagnant. Sometimes everything that a master teacher brought to them becomes naught, because they were so dependent to where they never unfolded into their true God state. And that's what this ayat is dedicated to when they say when man sees Allah with him, one with him. As Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. This is where the essence of the word Emmanuel, which means God with us, comes from, because God is with us because he is within us. Where's the nearest place that we can meet it? It's all throughout our Moorish Holy Quran in various aspects of the teaching that we are one with the great God, and that he is utilizing us as a vessel to communicate what it is that he will through us. How many of us are willing to accept and respect that responsibility? I'm telling you, in order for us to really get something out of what it is that has been brought to us, we got to demonstrate them attributes. We ain't saying this just to sound good, family, and philosophize. We're saying that some of us are going to have to take hold to the of these attributes, as instruments or tools to be used in uplifting our people. So this is where you can't lay the burden on one, two, or a few. This is where we are all working as a collective in oneness to bring about a grand unfoldment into this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So we can't place it on one person. Everybody got to do the work. That's basically what this is saying. You can't just lay it on the priest. You can't just lay it on the prophet. You can't lay it on the guru or the mastermind or the master teacher. You got to get out there on the manifest and do the work yourself. That's the time that we're living in. So if it's anything that you feel that should be critiqued, anything that you feel that ain't being done right, that need to be done, if you have the insight to see it, then you do it. You don't get mad at the teacher because the teacher is not demonstrating the way you think that they should be demonstrating. You don't get mad at your brother or sister because they don't take your slight, and it becomes your slight because you come up with the idea. If it was told to you that we need to move in a certain direction, in a certain way, in order to unfold something, then get to the business. Right? In most cases, when we give divine instruction, how many times do we see people that really heed the instruction in the first place? So since you won't heed the divine instruction coming from your people, then listen to the silent voice that speak within. Because if it's righteous, then it got to be from Allah, right? Telling you this need to be done. We don't have this. Well, do it. That's basically what this ayat is telling us. Stop trying to put the burden on somebody else. If the highest idea came to you, then it's for you to manifest it. And in fact, when you try to have somebody else manifest whatever has already been put in you, it ain't gonna work through them anyway, because you was inspired with the thought, not your brother or your sister that you trying to, cast that particular thought on because you have some type of fear, insecurity, and some reason why you don't want to demonstrate it, but you want to make a suggestion that it needs to be demonstrated. You see? This is what we see a lot of times. We see a lot of powwowing going on. We see a lot of clicking going on when it comes to dealing with our people. They like to talk about liberation. They like to talk about, what it is to be a nation. But when it comes time to do the work, then it becomes a problem. Then someone is looking for a way out. Then someone is looking to blame somebody else on why things haven't unfolded as they should. Now, we're speaking in general now. We're not talking to anyone in particular. We're just speaking on the level of experience after 30 years of being on the manifest and looking at our people and being in their midst, and having a conversation. That's where this whole message is coming from. I didn't even intend to go into the essence of where I'm going right now, but hey, it's a part of the demonstration. I'm just getting out the way. I'm allowing the prophet to utilize me right now. If that's what he wants me to say, then that's what I'm going to say. If that's what Allah intended me to say, that's what I'm going to say. You see? It's how we demonstrate it. That's how you deal with the reality of the Most High. Some of us have got to the point to where we don't believe that Allah really exists. Yeah, we say Allah is the greatest. Allah is leading on victory sure, but some of our people don't believe that, because they will say that and then they'll come right in opposition to their brothers and sisters that are working with them in that love thought. So if Allah is leading on in victory sure, then what you trying to pressure your brother for? If Allah is leading on the victory sure, what you trying to pressure your sister for? Huh? I'm just saying now. We don't want nobody to get touchy. But like I always say, the shoe don't fit you, don't wear it. Because you might hurt yourself. So, yeah, this is a grand drawing, family. So we have to understand, first of all, who do we see? Do we see Allah as one with us? Or we don't see that as a possibility? If we don't see that as a possibility, then we understand, why one would come with a thought that is contrary to that. But you can't say that you see yourself as one with Allah and you got a middleman and you need a middleman. You're looking for a scapegoat in your brother or sister. You're looking for somebody to intercede for you. If you're going to do that, then you might as well go into Roman Catholicism. They got plenty of so-called fathers in confession booths over there where the middleman get up there and, oh, Holy Father, I have sinned. Can you help me? I mean, that's basically what it's referring to. We're not here to make mockery. We're just telling you these things because we want you to see in great detail what's going on in the hearts and minds of our people. How can one say that Allah is leading on and victory is sure, and then a situation arise or come up, and the first thing they want to do is throw in the towel? Oh, they finna cut my lights off. Oh, I'm gonna be in the street. Oh, I can't pay this bill. I can't pay that. But you say Allah leading on and victory is sure. Anybody that know me and have dealt with some of the situations as far as knowing some conditions I have come through in the recent, times, know my mentality is the same. And it's always been like that because I understand, for one, Allah ain't gonna let nothing transpire unless he has something greater, to fill the void with, so to speak. He would not take anything from you unless he has intent to give a thing greater. And sometimes he gives us things for a temporary period, in order to get to us to another point to be able to recognize a blessing that has been given to us. But if we don't communicate with Allah like that, if we don't see ourselves as one with him, then we fall by climbing. We service to do any crazy thing, so to speak. And Allah gives his greatest test to his greatest soldiers. If you weak, you ain't even got to worry about being tested. If you got it all together and you feel comfortable where you are, then you just where you supposed to be. But one that's on the front line, they got to be battle tested. You can't be weak bite and be on the front line. As much as all of our people want to bear a title as being a leader or a head of something, some of us ain't built for that. You see, you just want the title, but some of us ain't built for that. Truth be told, they'll fold under pressure. We see it every time with the majority of our people when it come to Rome. In the underworld, Rome put enough pressure on the same people that were hollering they were gangster, is the same one getting up there, you know, they run and tell it, they go tell it on the mountain. So, you know, Morris Kid, it's a grand drawing, but we just got to say, stay in our lane and do what it is that we've been called to do. You see, this is what we're getting at. Don't place a burden on yourself and don't try to place a burden on your brothers or your sisters. And all will be well. You see, just take it easy. It's not a complicated situation, even though sometimes we like to complicate the simple. So do you see Allah as one with you? That's the question. And if you do, that ain't my business. It ain't my business if you do or you don't. And if you do consider yourself as one with him, then you know you don't need a middleman. You can stand as a man's man. Or you can stand up as a woman's sisters. When you are one with your great God Allah, when you got that deific tie, you don't need nobody to intercede for you. I know when some of us would get out there and we used to go fist the cuffs and somebody grab us, I know me, I would be hollering, don't hold me. Don't hold me. You know, so we got to have that same mentality when it comes to dealing with the truth. When we get on the front line, you know, we don't need nobody to hold us back because we can hold our own. And that's what this ayat is basically alluding to. Are you able to hold your own? Because if you're able to hold your own, then you recognize the God within yourself. You recognize the God within your brother and sister. Therefore, recognizing the talent and the responsibility, the capacity, unlimited capacity for success. It's in you. You don't need nobody to intercede for you. You see? So it's time for us to get out of that middleman thought pattern. You see? And get into that deific thought pattern. That's what we're talking about. So who do you see? Do you see yourself being one with the frightful condition that you may be facing and you can't see your way out of that special condition? So therefore you have created a condition that you can't govern? Or do you see yourself in the state of mind that you are a conqueror and that you have the ability to overcome any situation? You see, all we have to do is be elevated in our thought pattern. And we can overcome anything because we built that way. It's all about how you wired. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali said he came to mend the broken wires and connect them to the higher power. We can't make this up. We ain't trying to tickle your ears with no fairy tales and just sound good. We want to make sure that you see the reality of what it is that we talking about when we talk about that deific tie. We're not just trying to use some type of mystic language to behoove you? We want you to tap into that divine reservoir of divinity and overcome every obstacle that carnal man has placed before you, if it was carnal man that put it there. And in most cases, we might have put it there ourselves. So if we did it, then we can undo it. That's what we're talking about. We want to make it practical and simple and plain. That way nobody can say, oh, he's speaking over, he talking nonsense. How we going to use that to save us? We letting you know how you can use it to save yourself. Playtime is over with. And our people dying by the dozen. Now what you going to do about it? You going to stand by and watch? Or you going to roll up your sleeves and pant legs and get on the front line with that scimitar and go to war? And we ain't talking about no cut nobody heads off. We talking about beheading that lower self. The thought where you are constantly in opposition to your brother and your sister. The thoughts where you constantly looking for an excuse to continue to do what it is that you are doing, to self-sedate yourself with the hate that hate produces. So, yeah, this is a powerful drawing, Morris Ken. You can't hide behind the fig leaf or what somebody else didn't do or what you thought they were supposed to do, and this is why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Because the question has never been, who made you do it? Like our chairman say, who made you? You see? So we can't make it no plainer than this. We ain't with the dilly-dally and beating around the bush and all that type of foolery. You know, we speaking straight to our people that's meant to hear this particular message. You see, and anything that we say that may be offensive to you, you may have to check yourself. Anything that we say that may, inspire you, to do what it is that need to be done, and praise be to Allah. I take no credit for that. I'm just being glad to be a part and partial, demonstrating the work to aid and assist along the way. I'm nothing more than one that is of a witness that the great God Allah has placed in the midst of my people, one of them. I ain't the only witness, I'm one of them. You see? And that I know to be a fact. That's what I was born for. I wouldn't be here as long as I have if I wasn't born to do this. I know the work that I've been called to do, and I don't speak it from an egotistical. Ego don't mean nothing to me. Ego is for somebody that have shame and they got something to prove. I ain't got no shame and I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I know who I am. So when it come down to dealing with this measure, that's the mindset we got to have. I know who I am. I am that I am. That's what Moses was told when he said, who is it, O Allah, that I should say it is that has sent me? He said, I am that I am. I am Sanchi. Who is I am? I'm me. I am me. You see what I'm saying? See how simple that is? Don't that remove all the spookism? Yeah, it don't get no plainer than that. So we have to understand that we are vessels of the great God. And it is our 5 limbs, again, arm, leg, arm, head, that will bear witness against us. That's the Allah that will bear witness against us. It ain't a spook God. It ain't a deity outside of you. It ain't got nothing to do with polytheism. It has to do with the grand idea of monotheism. So what attributes do you have as gifts of the understanding to bring forth to your people from the treasures of Allah? Do we sit back and really look into this aspect? What is the gift that I have been given, that you have been given to manifest? Do we ask ourselves this question? If you have a gift, and surely if you don't doubt yourself, then you know that you have a gift of the understanding in what you're doing. You expect me to activate your gift for you? Am I responsible for you exercising your saving power? Is my Grand National Chairman responsible for you activating your saving power? Is my sheik or any other divine minister responsible for you operating your saving power? Are we responsible if you choose not to activate it and be consumed by whatever it is you feel like that you're striving against, whatever illusion of Maya it is that may overcome you? Is it my responsibility? Is it yours, or is it anybody outside of the self? And that's one to grow on. You know, so I ain't got too much more to say. I said everything I said. I don't need to, browbeat, the masses with the truth, the hammer of truth, so to speak. I just wanted to put that love thought on the manifest, but at this time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor so that we can hear from our family and see what it is that they have to say in reference to dealing with this special subject matter in the ayat coming from chapter 14. When man sees Allah as one with him and his father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. So star 6 your phone, Moors, if you have a measure to bring forth from the treasures. Islam. I know somebody got something to say. If not, we'll get our Grand National Secretary of the State to start drafting. Islam, Grand Secretary of the State, you on the
Islam.
Islam.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we hear you. That's why we said Islam, brother.
I guess you can. Oh, I thought you was Islam into Grand Secretary of the State. I don't know, because I be moving. Yeah, this is Dr. Marvin Edwards Bay, out of Texas, rising, giving all praise to the great God Allah, giving highest honors to his prophet, our prophet Noble True Ali. I give high honors to our theocratic government, our Moorish American government. I give high honors to our X1. I give high honors to all of our officials. I give high honors to this class, our Moorish Prospectus class. So as I give honors to you, God, man, National Assistant Grand Sheik of Moorish America, Dr. Sheru Nitiel Mohed Sepsuel, for the hosting of this most powerful class. So as I give honors to everything that's Moorish, not everything that the prophet brought to save us as a nation of people. Give honor to all those that aided in bringing forth this class this evening as well. Give honor to our flag, our seal, our emblem, our divine constitution, our holy Quran, Book of Ali, our 101, 102, like women of the nation. All of our divine revelations, I give honor. Give honor to the forerunner of our prophet, not Dr. Marcus Moshe Gabriel, but I give honor to the ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon. We are the return of the ancient one. And God, man, very powerful class. I'm moving about a little bit, and so that I heard it. The basic premise, I would say. And you coming from ayat, say 7 or 14. I'm not looking at my Quran right now. Islam? Okay. Well, when you speak on that man does not need a priest or any interceding individual to because we know as Moorish Americans who made us, who made me. Allah. Who is Allah? Allah is the Father of the universe. And so when we look at this, and we know that we are one with the great God Allah, and you spoke on that quite a bit here in your demonstration. So So, but getting back to that particular ayat, and point I want to speak on is that it says, when man sees himself one with the great God, I believe I might be paraphrasing it, but that's the point. When? I mean, that's something we know, that the great God is in all of us. He's in everything. You know what I mean? But the point is, when one has studied himself, because the prophet instructs us to study himself. Pardon the body. Yeah. So, and we have studied itself well, and we ask what to study next. Study itself. So there's a point when, I study myself. Well, there was a point in my study where I understand that I met Allah, through our prophet. When I know, without a doubt or contradiction, that I am one with the great God. So for myself, yeah, when I have a problem, yeah, I don't reach anyone for any help. Monetarily, morally, I will help you. But, that's me. And that each individual, each more, has to do this for himself. And you speak about being on the front line. Yeah, we're on the front line every day. Because every time we walk out our abode, you know what I mean? Knowing that we are Morris American, knowing that we don't have no, no posse, you know what I mean? You look out, you know what I mean? Our posse is a great God, you know what I mean? And he incorporates everyone, because he's over everyone, So I have no enemy other than that lower self. And that lower self is subject to me, to my dictate, because I know who I am. And I know who that lower self is. And that lower self is a tool as well. It keeps me on point, So, yeah, a very powerful class. And I think that everyone on this call is definitely gaining something from your call, because you hit a lot of high points. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't depend on anyone but myself. But I know I can't do it by myself. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? But I know that where my help comes from. It comes from the great God Allah. But, he also uses others to help. So, this is a holistic demonstration. You know what I mean? We're all one. It states that in the ayat. I just happen to be moving about, and I could look at it and go verbatim from the Quran. And it's a very powerful chapter as well. So, all is one. We don't hurt nothing or no one. So long as I stay in that mindset, that thought pattern, all is well. It's when I start letting my ego running away. But that ego, it serves a purpose too. It gets you out of situations that I need to get out. Talk about that higher ego. But yeah, gratitude, God, man, for allowing me to speak. Islam and peace. I got to find my phone.
Yeah, Islam, we give honors for the measure, and the grand drawing is that we are speaking in reference to dealing with, when it comes to dealing with the way that we think along the lines of the truth. You see, we have been taught that we had to have a scapegoat, that we couldn't think for ourselves. You see, now when it come down to dealing with us, we deal with the oneness of a thought between a Moorish American Muslim. Because when we see Allah in our brothers and sisters, and we see Allah in each other, we see the same Allah. You see? And this is why we know that our aid and our assistance is always on the manifest from that standpoint. But we're talking about the mindset of the fear that has been instilled in our people, basically by somebody telling us that we couldn't think for ourselves. We couldn't save ourselves because we needed, the European on the manifest. Even the European told themselves that we couldn't live unto ourselves without self-destructing. They told themselves that about us, therefore making themselves our caretakers, the God that we could see. And then they put him, they gift wrapped him, so to speak, in the doctrine of Christianity under the same image. So we couldn't see ourselves being made in the image of the Most High. But that's another mention. The floor is still open. Islam, Brother Justice L. Bay.
Islam, praise Allah, honor to our Holy Prophet Noble Ali, and honor to you, National Assistant Grand Chief Dr. Saeed Suffer, the great class tonight. Honor to all of those who assist you on the class, and honor to the entire Act 1. As always, special honor to our National Grand Sheikh and our National Grand Chairman, Moorish America, are empowered to make law and enforce law with the system of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. In honor to our host tonight, our National Assistant Grand Sheikh, or the Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs that lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known before the citizens of Moorish America. Well, the Prophet did say, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation, not taking to save thyself. He said, if I can get you to thinking, you'll save yourself. The question is, when man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. I look at this, and the thing that hit me is, who made you? Allah, the great God of the universe, and the nearest place you find within the heart. And there is no need for any middleman when you have these holy and divine laws, and you know who made you, Allah, the great God of the universe, and sent you a holy prophet Noble Ali for your earthly salvation. The prophet said the word. Did what the prophet, he wrote this himself. He said, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizens to put in danger, accuse falsely his brother or sister, on occasion all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. And when I look at that, there's so many different degrees in that where, if you are sincere in that you are proclaiming, and practice these holy and divine laws, and learning and knowing who made you, and that you have a holy prophet Noble Ali who came for your earthly salvation and let you know that you were God. He let you know that you had a nationality, let you know that you had a race. And then he brought also our own government, our own, through our National Grand Chairman, and letting us know that this is our home, our government, the most powerful government in the world. And then giving us a responsibility, as long we don't put in our brothers and sisters in danger. And we're not worried about a middleman, anything. As long that we're not falsely accusing our brother or sister of anything. As long we're not falsely accusing. And see, this is what happens when you have all these middlemen, all these priests and preachers and all these other things that they like to make up and conquer up. This is what caused so much confusion, because this what continue to tear us, because none of this is not real. It's just an illusion, but it works, and it have caused so much destruction amongst our people, because our people, first of all, we didn't listen to our prophet. We disobeyed Allah, the great God of the universe, and we now today, even now, some have turned to the middleman who have left out this government. Because when you turn your back on the prophet, you are going to be taken up on a middleman somewhere. But you can say if and buts and maybe no you won't, but that's not true. You turn your back on the prophet and Allah the great God, you're gonna take up on some middleman somewhere. And they tell you in Acts 4, it said all citizens must preserve the holy and divine laws. Now if we getting these laws and lessons and we know who made us and that he sent the holy prophet for our earthly salvation, the prophet let us know that we were gods, and the nearest place you find is within the heart, then you understand there also is no need, then that would tell you that. Also this Act 4 will tell you there's no need for a middleman. Because you are, if you preserve anything, they're letting you know that you are responsible for self. It is your job. It is your job to preserve the holy and divine laws, being gods. So we don't have to answer to any middleman. We have to answer to no priest and what have you, because we know who made us. We're responsible for ourselves. We're heirs and babes. We are creators and we are governors. We have a responsibility to govern ourselves. And all we have to do is say, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of this government and must live their life accordingly. As long as we are obeying these holy and divine laws, knowing that the great God of the universe, Allah, made us, and he sent the holy prophet over Jerusalem, as long as we obeying these laws here in the Moorish American government, we're obeying the prophet, we're obeying Allah, the one that made us. So there's no need for a middleman. And we being who we are, acting like God, talking like God, walking like God, thinking like God, being Moorish Americans who's governing themselves in their own government, there is no need for no third man. And the understanding that we have understanding that we are part and parcel of this government, and that this government don't just stop here in America, in Americas, in these Americas. We have power all over this earth, all throughout the universe, because Allah, the great God of the universe, made us. So we're not stuck on have any interest in a middleman. What for? It's simple. Allah, the great God of the universe, made us, and he sent us a holy prophet over for our earthly salvation. The prophet came and let us know that we was God. He let us know our nationality, our divine creed. He brought us everything. He said, I brought you everything it takes to save yourself, not taking to save yourself. And all we have to do is get these laws and lessons. We don't need no one to tell us who God is. We know who God is. We don't need no one to tell us that we got to go honor a man sitting up on a stick. We don't need no one to tell us that we're going to die and go to hell if we don't do this and we don't do that. That's just nonsense. Don't make any sense at all. And when you look at these truths, if you put a middleman and you look at and when you put a middleman in there ain't no truth about anything that they're telling you. They don't have your interest. They don't have you. They're not in for your best interest or whatsoever. There ain't no sincere love from them. We are love. Allah made us. He sent a holy prophet for us. He gave us, we got principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The 5 highest principles known to man. We are God. Just take, all we have to do is just go within. If we want to answer the stuff, we go within. We be responsible for self. Nothing wrong with calling and checking with your brothers and sisters about information or things of that nature. It's all right. Because we are one nation, one flag, one God, one prophet, one land, one government. And we aid and assist not just here, but all over the world, all throughout the universe. We don't need no one to instruct us. All those middlemen designed for is to continue to bury you, have you living with illusion. That's it. Nothing else. They don't have your best. They're not here for your interest in your best interest. Slaves have no value to these people other than to work. It's like going to school. You go to school, and I'm getting ready to go. So when you go to school to learn anything, there's always got something to do with a middleman. And then when you graduate from high school, you go to college, it still got something to do with a middleman. And then when you get out of college and you may start thinking, someone will come tap you on the shoulder and say, don't need to worry about that. You won't need those books there for the job that you're going to be taking up on. They don't have you. They're not concerned about you, your family, or friends, or so. They're not concerned about us. But when you come here to the Moorish American government, you study self. You learn who made you. You begin to learn things and uncover all these dark walls where they have put you at, and you had no knowledge of it. You can't help but to give praise and honor to the Allah and the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and surely praise Allah for sending the Prophet, opening up our mind, open up our chakras, helping us plug things back in where they need to be put, so that we can really truly see. Where we've been hoodwinked for so many years, trusting Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, believing in something that don't even exist, and have us bowing down to these behaviors, running and crying and hollering and just taking money, just throwing it away, basically all it's doing, claiming that you're doing God's work. You're doing God's work. We're doing the great God of the universe work. And I end it by saying this, because our job is to love, and we are love. We don't need any middleman to tell us that. Because Allah let us all know through our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We just got to do the work and keep it moving with our prophet out front. That's why it's so important that we preserve the holy and divine laws and keep the prophet out front. That being said, listen to your prophet and stand the train. It's going to always be about our holy prophet, because the great God of the universe sending for all our earthly salvation, if we get these laws and lessons and being faithful. Islam.
Islam, grand man, and gratitude for that measure. Praise be to Allah. That's a grand droid. Where you talk like somebody that know who made them, and also you know where your saving power come from. So that mean a lot. Islam. Well, all right. Is there any other more who would like to come forth and exercise their fire?
Islam.
Islam, Sister Curta Bay.
Islam. That Dinjania Kurtubay honors has already been given. I was trying to get in there. I didn't know if I needed to come through on the conference call, or could I speak from the panel? So I made sure. So I just went back to the conference call, and I'm coming through there. Grand class, God, man, I tell you, I really enjoyed your measure coming from our ayat 22. When man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. And I tell you, I'm glad that I had my phone muted, because when you start going back and taking us back into that Piscean area, I remember, and you start talking about how we was told to put all our sins on YEHOSHUA. And you know, I can see now why our prophet told us if he could just get us to think, because I never really, you know, when I was in Christianity and stuff like that, I never really thought of it as well, I just talk about me, as me committing sins and stuff, and then putting them off on him and having him suffer and things of that nature for something that I did, you know, not taking responsibility for what I did, none of that. And I thoroughly see why our prophet told us, if I can just get you to think, because when you look back, I know for myself, when I look back at some of the things that I was taught, and if I could have just thought about what was being said, I could have seen through a lot of the things that we were told. But at the time, you know, that's where we were, that's where I were, and you know, I couldn't see it. But as time continued, and as I continued to fold, I did start seeing it. And I did start questioning, some of the things that we were told. And even to the point, when you was talking about putting our sins on YEHOSHUA, I remember too how they used to tell us, if we sin, he forgive us 70 times 7, some kinds of way they had it, 77 times 7, however it was. And I had counted it up, and I said, I had come up with 149 times a day. And I was like, well, what if you go do 150 times? Is he going to forgive you then? Will he not forgive you then? So in my little mind, I'm thinking, well, I guess I better try to stay under 149. And then when I thought about it more, I said, well, that sure is a whole lot of sinning to do in one day. So I tell you, God, man, this was just a powerful class. And definitely what stood out to me, too, is when you was talking about how we say that we believe in the great God Allah, and yet we can put our sisters and brothers down. We can condemn them, even when, like you were saying, when trouble comes. You say you believe in Allah, but when trouble comes, you fall apart. Oh, Lord, why me? Oh, why this and why that? And a lot of times we used to say, why not you? That was before I came into the government, when I was just being conscious. But now I realize now, especially when you go back to chapter 1, it tells you you're going to be tested. How would a soldier know how strong he is if he don't never go through the test? So this has been such a grand class. And also you talked about how we can't do anything, how we think that we got to have somebody else to help us. And when I think about that, I think about like it's been said, it's nothing wrong with my brothers and sisters helping me, because they're when you see that oneness, we are one. And we're supposed to come together in unity. We're supposed to work together and get this government doing what it's supposed to do. We're supposed to be working together and doing things. And I loved it when you talked about how we have an idea, but we want to put that idea on somebody else and get somebody else to do it. No, that ain't the way it works. If Allah put it in your heart to do it, then you do it. Because I can remember even in the church, when I was in the church, my pastor would always teach us. He said, don't bring me the problem. He said, if you come to me with a problem, then you better have a solution to fix it. He said, because I'm not here to do all this. You don't bring me everything and try to dump everything on me. If you see something wrong, well, you know what the problem, now what you gonna do about it? So I learned real quick, how to take responsibility. And if I see something that needs to be done, get in there and do it. And if I need help, ask for help, And this was just a powerful class. And then when I thought about us working together, how we need each other, the thing I thought about is we got to get that out of our head that we need a European in everything we do. See, a lot of us think, well, the European got to be in whatever we do. We got to have a European up in there. No, I didn't see the prophet say nothing about that. He say, treat the European right, but he ain't never told me that I got to have them in everything that I need to do. And I see a lot of our Moorish kin, they think can't nothing be done unless the European have a say. They got to have a say in something. And so, God, man, I tell you, this is such a powerful class, wonderful class, like you said. Yeah, yes, you told the truth. This year was a good one here. Great class, God, man. Gratitude for all that you do, and gratitude for letting me share. Peace and love.
Islamism. Well, you most definitely tapped into the love thought, but that's exactly where we were coming from. You know, that's why we mentioned the YEHOSHUA degree, because they had us believing that we had to have YEHOSHUA as an intercessor. You ain't never seen our brothers and sisters being seen as no intercessor for us. So you're right. You know, we've been taught that we got to have a European part and parcel. And as we stated, we know we got to be united in the same thought, because if we see Allah with us and we see Allah in each other, you know, there is no middleman to get in between that thought of unity. So, of course, by nature, we're going to aid and assist each other. Yes, sir. That's exactly what we're getting at. You know, but when one get caught up in that measure coming outside of the self, they can't see nothing but Jesus, the Christ, you know, as their intercessor. You know, and that's how the thought pattern is coming. Even though they say they're Muslim, or they say, you know, that they Southern or whatever the case may be, they thinking about Jesus coming to help them. And that's what we were trying to emphasize on here. You know, and even he told you greater works will you be able to do. You know, that's a whole nother measure. We can give a drawing on that alone. So we give honors to your sister Curta Bay. Gratitude, Islamism for that Moorish attitude. But all right, is there any other Moor who would like to come forward? I know this right here gonna ruffle some feathers now and make some people feel some type of way. This one of them type of measures make you swear somebody talking to you.
Wow.
You know, but you talking in general, but they think you talking to them. Islam, Moor.
Shalom, Grand Class, Sister National Grand Sheik, Grand Class. This is Sean Washington, M.O. Tut Rabeo, out of Michigan territories. I rise and give all praise to the great God Allah. I give all honors to the prophet, the last prophet of all times, Noble Drew Ali. I give all honors to Marcus Garvey. I give all honors to the theocratic government, the 12 departments. I give all honors to the theocratic Moorish government flag. I give all honors to the Book of Fire, 101s, 102s, the Hadiths, the Holy Quran. I give all honors to the national chairman. A great job. The assistant secretary of state, the national secretary of state. I give all honors to the Treasury Department. The must teach doing a great job. You know, everybody on this call tonight. Give all honors. Wow, this is a good ground. I was thinking about this other day. It's me in my head. I said, I don't need a middleman for nothing. You know, like Justin Bay was saying, like it could be you could join the service, the Roman, you know, they corporate service like the Navy and the Army and the Marines. You need a middleman, or you can even going to work. You know, these corporate jobs. You know, they telling you how to go to the bathroom. You take, you know, tell you how to take a break. You know what I'm saying? In these what you call it, democracy schools. You know what I'm saying? The teacher is your middleman, you know, telling you you can't read, what you can't do, you know what I'm saying? Even though you don't need a middle woman for nothing. You know, like tomorrow they going to these institutions, you know, Christianity. You don't need an imam. Even the Catholic churches, I be seeing all that stuff. I said they be going running to these Catholic churches, Christianity, and it's all, you know, it's all the same. You know, it's just the version of Christianity. You know, it's really the true church is Rome, the Vatican. You know what I'm saying? That's where the Vatican at, right across the Atlantis, over there in Rome. We don't need nobody. We don't need the European in our affairs. You know. That's what they were telling us, that they, like we were saying, he got to be our caretaker. We can't do nothing on our own because we savages. We don't need the corporations. You know what I'm saying? We don't need affairs over there, District of Columbia, which is really England is over. You know, England's running the Vatican. You know, we got everything in this department. You know, we got all the tools. And you look at it, you are you your own middleman. You know, everything within us. You know, the temple, the the government. You know, cause this, I'm out here every day, and I was out there today. I was giving them the website, and I'm not complaining with the government. Oh, y'all don't have this. Y'all don't have hospitals. Where I'm gonna go when we get sick? You know, I had more last year. I said, "Oh, as well." I know the brother though, but he's not in his government. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a military, a police. You know the policies. I'm gonna say a police. You know, really it's military. You know, I be hearing all that. You know, and I keep it moving. You know, and you know. I tell them, I said it took the corporations to get away from Great Britain, 70 years. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we trying to do the best we can. We holding on what we got. You know, it takes time. You know, and they, looking at it as a corporation over there, but that's, I tell them that's a de facto government. That's not for the people. That's a democracy over there. You know what I'm saying? It's not for the people. It's the Constitution is not. It's not for us. It's not for the Moors. You know, and like them, the corporations, they can't get in our affairs in this government. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna get in there? How we gonna put our government with them? You know what I'm saying? We can't. It'll be a confusion. You know. And the prophet told us, he said, "Do you want the European to be your grand sheik?" You know, gratitude, peace and love, Islam.
On loan for Rome, you know, and that's the problem with the people who asking those things when they talk about where's our military, where's our this. You know, in a Moorish government, we don't need bombs and guns. We don't have any fear because we ain't did no harm to nobody. So we ain't got to worry about going to war. You know, the Moorish American government ain't got no enemies. So anybody that's thinking on that level, they long for Rome. And that's what they will have. You know, the prophets say they way they won't, they way they will have. You see, so that's a problem with many of our people, that they are just like Lot's wife. They always looking back. They like the Israelites. No matter how many times Moses brought them out of the wilderness, they complained, they moaned, and they groaned about what they didn't have. And then when he would feed them, then they would be all right again. When he would give them clothes and, quench their thirst, all was well. But then they would scream out again and want to go back to Egypt. You see, so that's their mindset, and we got to leave them where they are. You see, so we just say gratitude. Islamism without the schism, peace and love. All right, is there any other more who would like to come forth and exercise their fire?
Islam.
Sister Cammy. Do you have the subject?
Wait a minute. I thought I heard someone else.
No, we heard you, sister.
I'm not lying.
We heard you, sister.
All right.
What do you know the subject?
Gratitude, Pardon me?
I said, you know the subject matter? We need to get that to you.
If you could repeat it so I can focus, I would appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, the subject matter is when man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. Islam?
Gratitude. I knew it was about a middleman, something of that nature, and being one with Allah, but I wasn't sure. So thank you. I definitely appreciate it. This is Sister Cammy. I'm from Michigan. I rise, honor, and praise the great God Allah. I honor His Prophet Noble Drew Ali, officials, citizens, Moors here, there, and everywhere, especially my Moorish king. Instant gratification is what I thought of in listening to what you spoke of, our host night and other Morris Ken. Instant gratification, not being patient or realistic. When you are focused on your selfish self and that instant gratification, as far as what had been said previously, when you want something immediately and you want it to happen right away, you can't tell Allah what to do. You just can't. You can put a request in, but you can't tell Allah what to do, when to do it. Allah tells us what to do, when to do it. Believe, faith, fruition. Believe that there is a God. Have the faith to believe in the prophecies and the prophet. And their fruition, when it happens, some of what we are doing right now as we put those bricks into this foundation, lay the groundwork for generations to follow. We're actually becoming one with Allah being, because you're about your father's work, and you're doing your father's work. Forget the middleman. No, it's totally unnecessary when it comes to Allah. When you are in meditation, which is the highest form of prayer, or when you sit back with a bag of popcorn, knowing that you are a saved nation and watch these clowns kill each other. Foolish. Prophets say unity. UNITY. Grand Sheepton taught you that about unity. UNITY. And I give Grand Sheepton credit for it because he was the first one that I heard say it. But I know it comes up from this house somewhere. UNITY with Allah. UNITY as far as unity. UNITY. It's in fruition. Right now, it may only be a hand of us, but like that pyramid thing they had going, where you get a bunch of different people to go with your product, and the person that first introduce you, they get a cut of it for however it was working, that little hustle. Don't let the temptation to be in your lower self take over your higher self. Because there are people that uses God thing as a game. They're usually ones that's making a lot of money off of it. Live in mansions, multi-million, trillion dollars off of being preachers and reverends. I know they used to call them pimping preachers. Yes, in the collection played around 7, 8, 9 times in 2 hours. Come on now. Don't be conned by the God game, because we're not referring to that. We're referring to belief, faith, and fruition. It's fruition time for those that are here in the flesh right now. And it may not come to full fruition as far as more schools, things like that, until after we leave the flesh. But you got to start somewhere. Never-ending movement founded by the prophets. Let me calm down and clear this line, because I know there are other Moors waiting to speak. Being with Allah, when you're in that God state. Upright, independent, fearless, when you're in that God state. Being one with Allah when you know who made you. In a perfect seed of Allah. There's many things you don't know. Allah made you. You get all the knowledge and attributes of Allah, or the prophet that manifests
to bring the message. Whether you talk about Muhammad, Noble Ali, some of them can, I think it was like 200 or something known prophets. We study them all. Let me clear this line. Gratitude for allowing me to speak, give a measure on a Saturday evening. Gratitude.
Gratitude. We give honors to your sister, Cammie. Gratitude to you. We give honors to you. You know, and one thing we can say about the Moorish American government, we have never seen the middleman degree be utilized, you know, for Act One to be enriched. We done seen situations where we done had to reach out to each other for some aid and assistance. But we ain't never seen Act One, you know, utilize, you know, the measure of the government where you seen the people being enriched and the people on the bottom suffering. We don't have that degree going on in our Moorish American government. Praise be to Allah at all. You know, but one thing that in fact, most of us in the Moorish American government, you know, whether we have ups and downs, most of us have our own businesses. You know, so we've been able to live in spite of a hardship here and there, you know, off of the works of our own hands. Praise be to Allah. But yeah, we seen the middleman degree where they pass around the collection plate. We don't have a collection plate in the Moorish American government. You know, we don't have, you know, what other people have. We have, you know, a golden cord of love where we aid and assist where we know we need to be assisted. But we never seen where one started up and got rich. I ain't seen the Moorish American government got rich yet. You know, not off of the citizens of Moorish America. You know, I mean, show me something. You know, and so we just say gratitude for that mindset of dealing with the collectiveness of the thought. So yeah, this right here, this one of them classes that definitely gonna get you to think. I think a brother was trying to get in there. Sound like Michael Moore Bay or somebody. Was that you, Michael Moore Bay, that was trying to get in there when Sister Cammie came in?
Islamism.
Yeah, I can't see the board
Yes,
and who it
sir.
was. I just recognize your voice just for that short little snippet. I caught it. You know what I mean? But you know, we let the goddesses go first. Islam, brother.
Praise Allah, praise Allah. Yes, this is the one Minister Lincoln Moore Bay in North Carolina. Once again, our lives have been praised God and our prophet. And we do our liens to our citizens, our officials, and our government. Praise His be. Well, and you know, this thought-provoking, this ayat right here. Goodness gracious. You know, being one with the Father God, you know, we don't need no middleman. You know, all of that, it just shows how very important it is for us to know our nationality and our divine creed. And this is, you know, this is what we teach each and every day. You know, it's very important because our people, you know, they don't, you know, they don't see the connection because they don't have those 2/5 restored to them that was given to us by our prophet. You know, because we have it, and that we do have it. Being that we do have it, you know, by going within, we find the completion of the event of being at one with our Father God Allah. That's why we know Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. But we find through the purification of our heart and mind, see, we know that we become that holy breath. You know, we have the truth that sets us free. You see? And that makes us free to be that love made manifest. And we know Allah is all. You know, because one's nationality is the heart of one's descendant nature. And that attaches one's mind, body, and soul to one's nation of people. And that's through divine lineage. into the human family. See, this is a main reason why you don't need no middleman, because we have been reconnected to the human family, a nation. You see, and this produces the characteristics and traits and personalities along with birthrights and customs. Having our nationality, giving to us a divine creed and a religious path to our God state of God consciousness. You know, we have our own vine, we have our own fig tree, you know, and that gives us a pure and clean insight of being a whole people as a clean and pure nation. See, because we have a descendant nature, and it comes through the genealogy of the righteous. See, the righteous are the first gods to manifest in the flesh, as the holy breath being more God than human. See, this sustains us for us to put our hand in Allah's hand. We know all is well. You understand? Because we are the seeds that are perfect. Yea, it's perfect as the source from which they come. You know, the human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah. See, we represent the perfumes and the odors and the true sensations and the all of love made manifest. You see, and this is what enables us to have respect and be respected, so that we can uplift fallen humanity. You know, this is what our prophet meant when he said, "More, be yourself." See, be yourself. That's the only way that you can be at one with Allah. That's the only way you can produce that saving power. This is how we come together and be at one. This is what the prophet let us know. Salvation, our God, unity. He lets us know, even in our holy covenant in the ancient nations, how important it is for us to be at one with Allah, at one with ourselves, how we are to be secured and with Allah, within ourselves, through our love to each other. So, you know, it's honestly to know that we having a nationality in divine creed, that gives us, 5/5, making us a whole person, a whole clean, pure nation of people. Why would we need somebody else to do something for us when all we have to do is what we're doing now? Come together and do it for ourselves. And open up that door by being that blueprint, by being that perfect example, like our prophet was, representing the savior of humanity, representing love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Whoa, grand class, God, man. You got me all hyped up in here today. Praise the Lord for you. And peace and love and gratitude for the class. Islam.
Allah, Islamism without the schism. Islamism without the schism. Yes, sir. We just trying to encourage our Moorish kin that we can do it. And we ain't got to wait on nobody to do it for us. Islam, is there any other Moor who need to come forth and exercise that pride? Uh-oh. Now, see, that's my grand national treasurer right there, coming from the treasures of Allah. Islam, you there, goddess and queen?
Yes, I am, Mo. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. I was letting you got the flow. I was just trying to get the lesson. It's long.
It's long. Sister Nefertiti, Cambridge, Virginia. First I rise, giving all praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I give honor to our give honor to our most illustrious prophet, Noble Ali, giving honor to our divine constitution of Moorish America. I want to give honor to Act 1. I want to give a special honor to all citizens of Moorish America. I want to give honor to all muftis of Moorish America. I want to give honor to all divine ministers of Moorish America. I want to give honor to all our enzymes. I want to give honor to everything that the Prophet Noble Ali brought for the uplifting of fallen humanity. I want to give honor to the teacher. I want to give honor to the question. I want to give honor to all those who spoke before me and all those who will speak after me. Ayat 22, when man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. Islam, this is the most beautiful chapter, and this is a powerful ayat that our Assistant Grand Sheikh has given to us to demonstrate on. Well, Moors, it's been a struggle. Allah always testing you. You always getting a test. Okay, every time. But when we first got started on this road, not a road, it's a journey. There was nothing but Allah and the Prophet. We had to put our hands in Allah's own hands. Okay? And we had to have faith in the Prophet in order to try to educate the Moors that they were a nation of people. And there's no such thing. See, this back in the day, they were saying a nation within a nation, That's how the thought pattern was, But our chairman kept saying, no, there's no such thing as a nation within a nation, Because one of them had to be what do you say? I can't use that word. One of them had to be, he said, had to be underneath the other. Okay, I'll use that terminology. All right. And this is not who we are. We are clean and pure nation. That's what the prophet brought us. So we had to stand on the prophet's word in order for us to get through the UN. First, to let the Moors know that they had a flag, their own flag. The prophet brought them a flag. And everybody kept, during that period of time, was saying, well, nah, we got a flag, yeah. And they would throw up the Moroccan flag. Okay, no, that's not it. And we had to read the 101s over, and let the Moors know that the prophet brought you a flag, It was a red flag with a 5-point green star in the sun. You had love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it was in the circle, okay? Same as when he brought the Grand National Seal, and the Grand National Emblem. The prophet brought all these things, and we had to stand on it. In order for you to understand, you got to make a stand. We didn't sit down there and wait for nobody to do anything. We just followed the footsteps of the prophet. This is what we did. Okay, and we didn't sit down there and say, well, I'm waiting for Susie May or Jimmy Joe or, or the rest of the Moors to come on aboard. It wasn't like that. You know, the prophet put the prophet in the law, put that demonstration in the Grand National Chairman's mind, and we manifested it. We didn't wait for anybody. We did what the prophet wanted us to do. Now, after we had gotten the flags together and we had to stand on that, because the Moors was getting ready, they want to take you out. You know, they were very violent during that period of time, you know, and if everybody wasn't doing what they thought that you're supposed to do, they try to do physical harm to you. So we had to put our hand in the law's own hand, and all was well, you know. And we had to move the way the prophet had it out there, because they kept saying the prophet didn't bring that. You know, that's how the Moors talk. You know, during that period of time, they probably still talking the same way. So I give praises to Allah and honor to the prophet, because the assistant grand sheikh said, if you see something that needs to be done, move on it. Just like we had to move on it. Okay? We didn't sit there waiting for nobody. We seen what had to be done, and we moved on it. We needed to put something into the UN. We got people together that was able to assist us, and there wasn't more. Okay? These were other people that knew about law. We even had lawyers working with us. Okay? And we moved on it. All right? To manifest it so the Moors, when they come in this direction, they would know the truth. Not something somebody added on to it, subtracted from it, or did their thing with it. No, we try to move it like the prophet moved. The prophet didn't sit down. He said, by the time I tell you to do something, it's already done. That's how we move. So I give praises to Allah and honor to the prophet. You got to be able to make that stand for the truth. You have to make that stand for your people. You have to make that stand. And you don't let nothing, not even lower self, take you off. That's what you got to do. You know, like the brother said, if you see something that needs to be done, move on. As long as it's according to the prophet's law. You know, as long as it's going according to the prophet's law, follow in his footsteps. He had to go down to Cuba. Wasn't it Cuba? Yeah. You know, and represent us as a nation of people. Did nobody teach? Did nobody? And he took some Moors with him, but he didn't say this is the Moor Science Temple. He said this is Moorish America. We are the Moorish Americans. We are a nation of people. He brought back the mandate to the land. 50 years. You had 50 years. Okay? Mandate's still there. All you got to do is make a stand. Be what you know and not what you told. I give praises to Allah and honor to the prophet, because it's been a beautiful journey. A beautiful journey. You know, just seeing prophet's demonstration just unfolding, the nation unfolding. You know, we got all things that we didn't have before. We got it now. And if you see something that needs to be done, don't nobody have to tell you to do it. If you are demonstrating, and as Acts 7 says, all Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. You won't have no problem. You'll know what to do for your people. Sorry, Mo. I'm gonna hand this back over to our assistant Grand Chief, because he's got a beautiful class here. And we are blessed, truly blessed, to see our nation in motion. Peace and love.
Peace and love, Grand National Treasure of Moorish America, Sister Nefertiti. And now we know, you know why you there, because you definitely bring the gifts forth from the treasures of Allah, indeed. You know, and yeah, this is the mindset that we have. A lot of people don't know, you know, that when we seen people, we said all the time, one of the first things we had to do is defend our flag, because they was attacking it like crazy in social media. So, you know, basically the vibration coming from on high was stand in defense of your flag. And that's just what I did. You know, I pretty much went to task with everybody that would go at our Moorish flag. Not because we wanted to go back and forth with them, but we just wasn't going to stand for nobody disrespecting. You ain't going to sit there and let nobody dismantle what you love and still sit by and say you love it because you want to be peaceful while everybody waging war on you. You ain't going to do that. You know, and so that was one of my first tasks right there in assignments, defend my flag. You know, then, all right, you know, we need a website. So what was my task? Build it then. You know what I mean? We need to get in a realm of uniformity. Well, let's put that out there too. But guess what? It was all in accord and built off of what was already there. Like the Grand Treasurer, National Treasurer said, we had that in mind. You know, and because it don't make sense to just come out of the blue and come forth with anything that's going to be contrary to what you represent. So we all have been given a gift of the understanding, but just keep it in line with what's divine. You know, if it can't fit into what was already there, meaning if it don't coincide with it, then that means it must not be meant to be here. That's how you ask yourself if what it is you bringing forth meant to be here. Can you find anything in the prophet law that correspond with it? You see what I'm saying? Even down to, you know, the present day measure when we were drawing with our family through the various different forms. It was still in accord and is still in accord with what the prophet brought. So if you're nervous about what you got to bring forth, then that right there should be a red flag to yourself. You know, but if you have confidence in what it is that you bring forth, then bring it forth. It's meant to unfold just as it is. And the angels going to stand in support of it. You know, the main thing is, you know, we definitely got to do what need to be done if we think it need to be done. We can't procrastinate about what need to be done and then criticize that it ain't been done. That don't make no sense. You know, so we just say gratitude with a divine attitude. And if it ain't nobody biting at the bit, because I know this one set everybody's soul on fire with love and holy zeal for doing the work tonight. You know, if it ain't a more that want to come forward, we going to our officials. Is there any other more that like to come forth before we go to our officials? Going once, going twice. All right, you thrice blessed.
Thrice blessed.
To be said. Islam? Okay, who that is? Islam.
Islam.
All right. The floor is open.
Gratitude, darling. Gratitude, Islam Moriskin. I'm Divine Minister Dr. Lenore Fox Day from the Georgia Territory. Once again, I rise, giving all praises to Allah. High honors to our holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali. I honors to all of F1. I honors to everything Moorish. And I honors to our class this evening, Islam. And the topic on the floor, and I'll keep this brief. Chapter 14, Ayat 22, our chapter of the week. When man sees Allah as one with him, as Father, Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest, no intercede. Islam, grand topic. Now, I agree with all of our Moorishkin that spoke before me and those who will speak after me. We certainly don't need any intermediary between us and Allah. We know who made us. We know we and Allah are one. To have a middleman means we are unable to speak for ourselves. In fact, that would be like going into the courts of Rome as a victim and come out as a criminal. Therefore, we were prisoners. And we don't, as one would say, we don't roll like that. So, and to have an intercessor would be to say we don't know the law. And it would be like saying we don't speak the divine language. We know we came straight from the heart of Allah. His divine law and his divine language is inherent in us. Therefore, we speak for ourselves. Islam and gratitude, grand class, angel, grand class, and gratitude for the opportunities to share. Islam, gratitude, peace and love.
Islam, gratitude and peace and love. And we say gratitude to our Moorish kin, and anybody who may say,
Dr. Shaheed, if you're speaking, we can't hear you, Angel.
Okay, pardon self, we on now. Gratitude, sister, for that measure. But Islamism without the schism. So anyone who, basically has the thought in their mind, that they can't do a particular job or get the job done or whatever the case may be, we waiting on Rome to do this or waiting on this, we had a wrong idea. So we just say gratitude, we give honors to you, and everything it is that you Moors brought on the manifest. This has been a grand drawing because we're encouraging our family to utilize their talents. If you got 30 Moors on here, that's 30 different talents. That is 30 different ways and means to utilize, self-determination to get the job done. All we got to do is be steadfast, and head first when it comes to dealing with that. And it ain't nothing that we won't be able to accomplish. So that being said, we say gratitude to Islamism with a divine attitude. And now we call forth our beloved assistant, Grand National Secretary of the State, Sister Alceta Moon El. Islam, are you there, sister? Well, we know the sisters by the business of our Father God Allah, so we'll call forth our National Grand Mufti, Dr. Khonshu Mark Herubay. Islam, you there, Grand Man? Well, praise be to Allah. We know our Grand Mufti is always on the task. So let us call forth our Grand National Secretary of the State, Sister Hatshepsut Rakat Ma'at Ampu to come in Bay. Islam, back to the tribe of endurance. You there, Goddess and Queen?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Can you hear me more?
Oh, loud and clear with enduring ears.
Praise the Lord. Islam, family. Islam Moorish Kin, first of all, I want to rise, giving all praises to our Father God Allah, Giving honor to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, and getting a little bit of feedback. Giving honor to our Moorish American government, all of our officials, staff, angels, muftis, divine ministers, most especially our Moorish kin. Giving honor to all those Moors that spoke before me, all those Moors that will speak after me. Giving a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, Dr. Shetta Amenti and Mohammed Shepsuel, for opening our meeting according to law and also hosting this Grand Moorish Perspectives class this evening. We want to give a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Secretary of State, Dr. Dendra Nia Kurchabe, for taking registration and reading our subject chapter for the week. Our subject matter coming from Ayat 22, when man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. And Dr. Shaheed, this was such a powerful class this evening. Much gratitude to you more. When we look at our foundation in reference to being of service to humanity, that's the key right there, because a lot of times we have to be able to recognize what our selfish wishes and desires were and distinguish them from what our divine mission is at hand. We aid and assist our prophet in the uplifting of fallen humanity. The prophet knew that we came from a state of mental slavery. He knew that we were bogged down by chains, demarcated thought patterns, taking oaths, swearing allegiances to entities that were designed to take us off the count. So he had no choice but to bring us something that was holy and divine, coming directly from our Creator, our Father God Allah, to remind us of the divine source from which we come. And of course, he also warned us that Moors are hard-headed, stiff-necked, don't want to do anything except at the point of a sword. And I'm quite sure everyone on this line and our family online has experienced things of that nature. But the thing about it is, we still, no matter what, have got to learn how to love instead of hate. He also taught us that we have got to be a friend to mankind. Only way you can do that is learn how to demonstrate civility, which is the root of civil, which is the root of civilization. We were the ones who brought the keys of civilization forth, our ancestors and forefathers. And it's up to us, because the keys of civilization have been placed in our hands. So now we have the task of teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. And as many of our Moorish kin were stating, no matter what, giving honor to you, Dr. Shaheed, for bringing forth these degrees, because these are things that we're going to come in contact with, going to be encountered with, and things that we have to rise above, because we have to recognize the seriousness of the hour in which we were in. This is not to speak about big eyes or little U's, but the era of time that we came forth, as Goddess was stating, they were literally taking Moors off the count. We had had so many death threats, bomb threats, things of that nature. Just Allah's saving grace and having us switch locations annually there for a point in time was it added security as well. And even through that, you have to recognize them and make a decision. Well, if you are a spirit and a part of the great God Allah, you can't die. This is not for selfish self. This is not for me or my particular family. We're dealing with this for the generations to come. So you have to be able to make a stand, no matter what situation we were placed in. You have to think about the future guidance of the nation, not your own personal, what about me, or I don't know. When you had those kind of thoughts, as many of our Moorish kin have stated, you opening up the door for more and drama and tests. So you have to be able to rise above, recognize the keys of psychic self-defense. You have to learn your lessons quickly, or you became succumbed to the condition or situation in which you were faced with. And I tell you, when you are able to walk, and the prophet stated that our destiny is not uncertain nor unknown. So that means that even if you can't see it with your carnal eye, you know that Allah has you no matter what. You know that you are walking beside Prophet Noble Durali no matter what. So it doesn't make a difference. It's a chapter in dealing with the foes where it speaks about the tiger coming across the path. And, you got birds hissing and all howling beasts and things of that nature. A lot of these degrees are within your own self, dealing with your own fears, having to fight through illusions and recognize the fact, you know what? That your mindset is the one that is able to conquer all. So when you recognize the fact that when man sees Allah as one with him, that's it. That's it. As Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. So the question then becomes, what are you waiting for? Okay? Do you not know that I must be about my Father's work? So it doesn't make a difference if you got pistivity or whatever other conditions. The thing about it is they know your character, know how you stand, then they're either going to honor that or try to oppose it. It doesn't make a difference. You have to stand where Allah has placed you and do what it is that Allah has called out for you to do. And we can't be so cocky in thought, thinking that, well, hey, I don't want to do it right now. I don't feel like it, and think that the mission is going to go to naught because you haven't done your particular part. Allah will lay you back down in that coffin and raise somebody else up to get the job done. Because, see, forgetfulness, forgetting that this is a divine and national movement, and at the appropriate time, Allah will move the veil off you again, because not victory is assured, not a word is lost. So when we look at it from the aspect of there have been so many things under that barrel of mental slavery in reference to, well, I can do better than the prophet can do, or, coming into a government with the intent of, let me see what I can get, take it back out, do a remix, and present it as something else so I can have those follow me. These are kindergarten games for those that are not aware of the degree of mental slavery that they are under. Our people have been indoctrinated for years, so it's going to take time. The prophet didn't come and, hands over the arms and blink, we're now all free. There is no magical thing, to demonstrate the level of purity in life. You got to put the work in. That's why you cannot fake it till you make it. If you don't have sincerity as that first degree, it's not going to work. It's not going to fit. Then, of course, dealing with a finite mindset, they ain't doing right. They ain't moving fast enough. I don't see nothing happening, da-da-da, and da-da-da, and the list goes on. But the thing about it is, a lot of times, the way sincere Moors have to move, they can't give it to everybody, because everybody's intent is not for the benefit and the uplifting of Moorish America. So when the prophet said, by the time I ask you to do the thing, it's already done, this is how we have to move. So this is how things became manifest, because Allah, Ali, and me, and go ahead and move with it, as the goddess was speaking about, according to the prophet's law, Allah's law. Act 1 is already aware of this. We're not speaking about going off oneself. I do it myself and then bring back the results, positive and negative, and then, hey, help. No, we're not talking about that level. So when we look at getting rid of an NBC mindset, when we look at prophet said, I forgive you for everything that you've done before he came. We had those that dealing with fraternal orders, sororities, and things of that nature. The prophet said, some of my best Moors are still in the church. That's why we're not here to discriminate. We're here to demonstrate what Allah has blessed us with. You see the need, demonstrate it. I'm looking at, we've got farmers, we've got carpenters, we've got scientists, we've got chefs, we've got tailors. We have a whole host of talents in our government. You know, so as the brother was speaking, our National Assistant Grand Chief was speaking about, is that a nation is not made up of 2-3 people, you know, and let me keep putting all on them until their back break, and then maybe, you know, hey, we can stop this demonstration. It doesn't work like that. You cannot bury the truth. Yeah, you can't outdo what the prophet has already done, because Allah is the one that brings forth nations, and he lays them down to the ground when they have forgotten or turned their back or put limitations on themselves where they cannot do. So our mindset is what needs to be done, not what can my government do for me, what can I do for my government. That's the mindset of a Moor that is active and not passive, because the prophet said, I know where every Moor is along the way. So you may think you might be fooling the sister or the brother across the street, up the way, around the corner, what have you, but Allah sees all. So we are here with righteousness, moving with good intent, here to not only save our special people, but the rest of the nations of the earth. Start looking at the international news and see the catastrophic degrees that are going on outside of what our nation is bringing forth. The whole world needs what it is that we have to offer. It's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And as our Assistant Grand Chief spoke, he didn't ask you to bring forth for 20, 50,000 degrees. He said love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Keep it simple. Gratitude more for calling me forth. Peace and love.
And gratitude for that measure, Grand National Secretary of the State. Yes, sir. That's exactly what we're talking about. You know, we got so much talent up here in this Moorish American government. You know, ain't nowhere in the world, you know, that we ashamed to demonstrate our talent for the prophet. You know, so we just got to have a love in us. You know, unfortunately, when you get up in the realm of Act 1, and us that are here, we love our people so much so we don't never get in the mindset where we burn out. You know, where some people may feel like I can't go no longer, no further. No, we still continue to go because this just a part of life, and it's just like waking up in the morning or the sun rising. That's what it's gonna be. You know, and we just encouraging our family that we got less in front of us than we do behind us. You know, so do what it is that you can to aid and assist and uplift and fallen humanity. Because you can't go nowhere but to the grave outside of doing what it is you're doing. You know, so you might as well do the best you can while you're on the manifest, you know, until Allah, you know, allows an increase, so to speak, you know, in a particular area, if he chooses to do so. You know, so we just say gratitude for the divine attitude to all our Moorish kin. We love you with love and divinity. And at this time, we gonna call on our Grand National Chairman. We know he know who made him. Islam, you that grand man?
Close to the thought. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, loud and clear. Islam.
All right. Praise to honor to the Prophet Abu Dwali, the last prophet in these days and time. Islam will start 6 o'clock. Okay, who's feeding that? Okay, Islam. When man sees the law as one with him, as the Father law, he needs no middleman. He don't need no priest, no divine ministers to intercede, none of that. Because when you know and you can answer the question, well, who made you? When you can answer that question, then you need to get off the silly boat because you ain't on it no more. All right? That's why we got a holy Quran, a divine constitution. We got the sacred laws. We are where it is that Allah and our forefathers intended us to be. because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here where we at right now. So it's an honor, blessing, and it's just a powerful journey. And I want to extend much honor to this divine and national movement, because when you look at the divinity in this special movement, then you see yourself and your loved ones right there. Because why? We didn't pay dues. We didn't pay the debt to be here. Okay? We suffered slavery, been to penitentiaries, some of everything, you name it, and we'd have been through it. But we're here. Why in the world did we survive through all that, through centuries of all that, and still be here to give praises? Thank you. It's an honor and blessing. Islamism without a schism.
Honors to you for that grand drawing. Praise be to Allah. Islam, Islam, Islam. But let us call forth our national grand sheikh, Dr. Serapis Amin Rael. Islam, national grand sheikh of Moorish America. Islam, you there, grand man?
Islam, Brother Grand Sheik, if you're speaking more, start to fix your phone. Brother Grand Sheik, I see you on the board. Start to fix your phone if you can. Islam, Dr. Shahid. I see our national Grand Sheik on the board, but I'm unable to unmute him.
Okay.
He may be having technical difficulties.
Okay, Islam. Praise be to Allah. Well, you already know we'll close the demonstration out for our national grand sheikh. Praise be to Allah for our national grand sheikh, Dr. Serapis Amin Rael. All right. Islam, Islam, Islam. Moorish America. January 15, 1929. Warning the prophet to be read at every meeting. I hereby inform all citizens that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace, not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders would be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any citizen, a group of citizens who hold malicious feelings toward the government of the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. And if they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the government is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the government. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By the order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we bring forth this divine decree. Islam, Islam, Islamism without the schism. Chapter 25, a holy covenant of the Asiatic nations. Yea, the children of one father provided for by his care, and the breasts of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Go in peace, Muslims. Islamism without the schism. Peace and love. Islamism, Orange King. Islam, we gotta lift that veil, Moorish King. Islam, we love you. Well, all right, want to give honors to our family out there in social media too. Kadma Achu Bay, Gary Miles Bay, Tarif Bay. Who else that was? Zara Noura Bay, Sina Renee. We give honors to you as well, Tyrese L. I think that's Magneto TV, and Dr. Jehudi, all of y'all that showed up, and those who may have been present and didn't announce their presence, we give honors to you as well. We'll see you in the next session. Peace and love, Sunday school, Islam.
Goodbye.